Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste children. Today I will tell you a story about a farmer who had 3 sons. They were very passionate about what they did. But towards the end, they had to correct themselves with some maturity to achieve their goals. Once upon a time, in a village called Kasipur, lived a farmer, Sukharam, and his wife, Meera. They were both very hardworking and helpful couple. Whenever the villagers wanted some help or were in need of grains, they always lent and they were there for them. They were also very religious. They went to the temple every day, and Babaji, the priest, was like a family member guiding them throughout. They were blessed with 3 sons. Chatur, the eldest one, the second one, Rakshit, and the youngest one, Vaidya. Meera was the only lady who was literate in the village, and all the village women also came to her for some guidance whenever they needed. Since she was educated, she wanted to teach her sons all that she knew and all that was possible. She wanted them to grow into strong young men and took them for outdoor activities, taught them to swim and play some games outside, and insisted that they watched the youngsters practicing martial arts on the bank of the river. Without fail, every day she took them to the temple and got them blessed by Babaji. The boys were very active and very shrewd also. They picked up all the agricultural activities that the father did and assisted Sukharam in every day's routine. Though they were like that, the couple observed that they were very different. One day Sukharam told Meera, "The boys are very sharp, obedient, and smart. They know what to do and they do a wonderful job. But I doubt how far they will help me in future and take up farming." To this Meera said, "Well, I too observe that the boys are very, very different from each other. They have their own ideas. They have their own liking and passion. But I strongly feel that we need to leave them according to their passion and give them the freedom to do what they want to. And if they do so, I think they will go places. Anyway, let the future decide for them." This is the way the couple went about. And how were these boys so very different? Chatur was always planning some strategic games, inventing new games with ideas, and gathering all the village children, organizing games for them, putting them in teams, and then making them play. Of course, all the problem-solving aspect also he did beautifully well. He could tackle issues, convince people, and manage everything to keep them friends always. This was his strong point. While Rakshit was manufacturing slings, bows and arrows, climbing up every possible tree, then plucking fruits for the gardeners there, chasing away the monkeys, and then assisting the forest guards, the village guards, and was skillful, courageous, and very active, a well-known personality in that area. The youngest one, Vaidya, was calm and quiet. He always went about investigating some herbs, studying some medicinal plants, bringing some edible fruits, smelling some fragrant flowers, and once in a way, he also bandaged the hurt village boys with some herbs and felt very proud about himself and very satisfied that he did something very great. So this was the attitude of the boys. Okay? Does this remind you of anything, children? You too are very, very smart inventing some games, isn't it? Within the classroom, before the teacher comes, you are playing some hand cricket, book cricket, and so on with the available time. And very often, though you obey your parents and do whatever they say, you are still doing what you like, reading the book that you are fond of, playing the game that you like the most. So similarly, these boys also continued that way. And let's see what happened now. As they grew up, they started going for all their outdoor activities on their own. And while going to play, they stopped at the village panchayats, carefully observed those meetings, and on their way they used to discuss about their priest, who was such a noble man, who condemned all the superstitious beliefs of sacrificing goats and things like that. They appreciated him. On the other hand, they also saluted the village head, who was calm and composed in his decisions, giving decisions and listening to people. But after the play, they were so disciplined and particular about ending the play when they heard the temple bell ring. They used to run to the temple, pray, have prasadam, and then settle down to listen to some story that Babaji used to narrate. Babaji narrated stories from Puranas and then also fed them with patriotism, narrating stories about heroes of our country. Children were very happy. They had a wonderful childhood. It was all fun, play, learning, and they were brought up with good values at home as well as at the temple with Babaji's guidance. When things were going on like this, they finished their schooling, and Chatur decided to go to Vishwavidyalaya to study Vedas and scriptures. By that time, when they were in teens, Rakshit was already popular, taking part in the nearby kingdoms, nearby villages, in various competitions, martial arts, boxing and things like that. So he decided that he would be trained at the martial arts center, and he left. Vaidya, calm and quietly, stayed at home and at the outskirts of the village pursued his study in Ayurveda. Often he used to treat the villagers when they had some problems, snake bites or something like that, and the villagers promptly blessed him that he was indeed an angel and that they were in safe hands. Mother Meera and Sukharam were very proud of their children. After 2-3 years, Rakshit came back, and by that time, the chief in the army, the kingdom, knew about Rakshit, his courage, and insisted that he must join the army as his assistant. One fine day, when things were like this, the king's men were standing at the doorstep and wanted Vaidya to treat the queen who had fainted. Vaidya, with his expert knowledge and his efficient treatment, gave the treatment to the queen, and within 24 hours she was perfect. The king was so happy and grateful to Vaidya that he requested him to join the court and appointed him as the royal physician. After 8 long years, when Chatur was almost finishing his study, there was a sabha of learned people who gathered there to share their knowledge. Chatur was also one among them. Impressed with his wisdom, maturity, and knowledge, the courtiers, the old courtiers at the kingdom, advised the king to take in Chatur as a young minister, so that the future of the kingdom will be prosperous with people, knowledgeable people like the Chatur in his kingdom. So this was the way everything was moving on, and Chatur and Rakshit grew up to the highest position and soon commanded good power. With Rakshit at the army, many of his friends also were motivated to join the army and got themselves recruited as soldiers. When this was going on, Chatur was planning for a wonderful settlement of the kingdom with enough funds, arms, ammunitions, food, everything in place. And a prosperous kingdom it was, with flourishing fertile lands in and around Kasipur. And the kingdom, people were very happy in the kingdom. All the neighboring kingdoms had an eye on this kingdom, right? They were a little jealous of the prosperity of this and wanted to possess that kingdom. So, as the plans were going on, war broke out. And people were ready. Chatur was absolutely, with his organizing abilities, had planned everything as earlier. He was self-sufficient in all the aspects of keeping things ready for the army, for the war, for food, everything. Rakshit, on the other hand, was well trained, and he himself was a great expert, and he had his soldiers all in place, and there was no fear at all. And it was almost a week, and then they were on the winning place when Rakshit heard that Vaidya was treating all the enemies who were wounded along with their soldiers. First, he did not pay heed to it, but then he heard people gossiping, saying that his brother was disloyal and he was just pretending to be full of patriotism. This hurt him a lot. He could not bear it. he immediately rode to Vaidya and said, "Is this fair on your part? I heard you are treating all the enemies who are wounded. How can you do this? And people are calling me names and treating me on par with a traitor. This cannot be tolerated." Vaidya, on the other hand, calmly said, "Look, brother, this is my duty. I am a physician first, and I am not bothered about who the man is. A person who is wounded, who is in pain, I need to treat him, and that comes first for me. I cannot forego this. I am a physician and I will do this." Rakshit was furious now. He said, "Do you think I am fooling around there? My soldiers are sacrificing their life, and they are at the risk of their life fighting for our country. And you talk such things? If you are so stubborn, I'll take the matter to the king." Saying this, did not wait for a reply. He just rode to the palace. There he barged in, and when Chatur was sitting with all his courtiers, he sat down there and started off with his anger and rage. "Brother, do you know what is happening? Do you know what Vaidya is doing there? He is treating all the enemies, all those who are wounded there, and not bothered about what I am saying. I am struggling hard here, and you are unmindful of it, sitting here and preparing some strategies. How is this fair?" And then Chatur could not tolerate this. First of all, he was feeling very embarrassed. And then he could not bear his brother speaking like this. He said, "I'm the head here. I know what I am doing. If you cannot tolerate this, you hand over to your assistant and leave the battlefield." And he immediately lost temper and even told Vaidya to keep himself away. Everything came to a standstill. The wounded soldiers were groaning in pain. Not good treatment was available for them. And with the assistant leading, the army was clueless. Slowly, this news spread like wildfire, and the neighboring kingdoms tried to take advantage. The enemies were slowly becoming powerful. Sukaram and Babaji were terribly nervous now. They did not know what to do, and people started understanding that due to the brothers' misunderstanding, everything becomes easy for them to win, and the people were nervous that they were going to face a defeat. Babaji wasted no time. He called all the three brothers immediately. Even the villagers rushed to hear what was happening. Babaji said, "Rakshit, don't you remember when I narrated incidents from Ramayana? Did I not tell you that when Lakshmana fainted, it was King Ravana's physician who was brought in to treat Lakshmana at the enemy's camp? And when Lord Hanuman brought Sanjeevani, it was he who picked up and treated. How is it fair that you stop Vaidya from treating the wounded soldiers? Then is it fair on your part to listen to some gossip and get emotional like this? You are the chief of the army." And he turned to Chatur and said, "Why, Chatur? I wanted you to be like Chanakya, and you have lost temper during crisis. Is this correct on your part to do like this? And you have, all of you, at the critical juncture, have failed to understand each other and respect each other's profession. All the three brothers were tight-lipped. They were ashamed of themselves. They profusely apologized, fell on Babaji's feet, took their parents' blessings, and off they went to win the war. All of them with perfect understanding, respecting each other's ideas, and paying heed to what others were doing, followed their own strategies and won the war for them. So, the people in the kingdom were all happy, and Babaji's joy knew no bounds. So, children, in our daily life, our soldiers who are guarding our boundaries are the real heroes. We need to salute them. And our doctors are indeed angels who, at the cost of their life also, try and save us. And today's world, they are just angels sent by God. With people like Sukharam, taking care of the farming and all that, keeping us alive. They are Annadata indeed. So, the brothers were very special and they achieved their goal, correcting their mistakes. Are you not special, children? You are. You are very special. You are talented and you are unique. You are also talented in your own way. Whatever you want to become, be it a trainer or a teacher, a scientist or a baker, a theater person or a comedian, go ahead, follow your passion, chase your dreams, and be a winner. You are a very special gift to your mother and your motherland. So, learn to give it back. Good luck, children. Namaste. I thank Swamiji for giving me this opportunity.
Dear children, Namaste. I hope you're enjoying the videos that we have posted on our YouTube channel so far. If you have any queries on morals, on values, or if you have any doubts on religious practices, you can post your queries to our email ID, that is office@rkmmvcc.org, and we will answer your queries through our YouTube channel. Thank you. Thanks. Namaste.